Have some California things to say. Okay, my first awards are not many this year. Okay, I wish I could give out all the awards for most improved, for best cheerleader, for best team player, all that stuff. But I kind of keep it limited. So my first award, okay. Everybody knows this is kind of what it is. Mount Carmel Sun Devils tennis, best doubles, best team players, Michelle Kutzenoff, Katie Sauer. So on the bottom of this, it says focus, fire, desire, finish. Team first. Oops, sorry. These guys were dead even in terms of wins for the season, 27-26. They were on fire down the stretch. They can almost always be counted on for winning their close sets in the playoffs. You know, like I said, super nice girls. All our girls are super nice, unpretentious, great team players. These guys kind of were the role models for everybody, I thought. They worked hard in practice, they ran hard, and you know, their record speaks for itself. They both had like 22 wins out of season, so the future is bright for them next year. Okay, so thank you very much. Mount Carmel, most valuable player, Erica Letchman. This just says excellence, commitment, leadership. Player of the year, Erica Letchman, team captain, 2015-2016. So we've already talked about Erica. We don't need to go over all her stuff, okay? But, yeah. That was a fantastic year for her. Really, really nice to see that she got the school record. Erica, you got to come up and get this last one, because when you get a school record, okay, it only happens once in a lifetime. Really, probably I'll never see that record broken again. I'm not being unkind. I'm just being realistic. I've been in coaching for probably too long, but. Anyway, this says one of a kind, all time, most wins, most singles wins, one season, 51-9, every point, every game, every set. Never quit, never quit. So that was fantastic. Okay, my last award is something that I don't usually do, and I don't usually have the luxury of doing. But this year we had 2 volunteer coaches. Parents, if you don't know what it involves, being a parent volunteer coach in the CIF and the leagues in San Diego, of course, it involves jumping through hoops, CPR, first aid, fingerprinting, FBI and local police. You have to take a CIF test. You have to know what you're doing to be able to coach. They make you jump through the same hoops that they make the coaches jump through, and then they ask you to work for nothing. Okay? So this year, Beth Sauer helped me out, and Ray Sacro helped out the JV. I don't even want to think about how much work the season would have been without those two. Beth Sauer is a fantastic doubles player. She loves tennis. She's a lifelong tennis player. She understands the game. She wouldn't ever tell the girls anything that I wouldn't tell them, and I would rather have her tell them, because she has a little gentler way of saying things to girls than I do. So This is my award for her. It says, Mount Carmel Sun Devils Varsity Appreciation Award, Volunteer Coach, Positive Patience Every Day. And girls, I'm sure that you can relate to that. Her patience and calmness and everything in practice, I think, taught me a lot. So that's Coach Beth Sauer. Not least, because I'm sure some of you want those letter jackets. Okay, first and foremost, we have Grace Limmersall. Nina Williams. Andrea DJ. Lily Chen. For the returning lettermen, they get a little bar for their letter jackets or their letters, whatever. We all know who they are. Ava. Returning letterman. Boy, we're going to be missing some of these next year. Michelle. Lauren. Savannah. Erica again. Alexis. Katie. Okay, now we're going to have the 6 seniors come up. I'm sorry, 5 seniors. Ava, Alexis, Lauren, Savannah, and Erica, of course. Open mic for seniors. They're gonna be limited to a couple minutes each, and hopefully they'll watch their language and.
How about you, Lauren? What?
So Lauren, you want to know your experience?
Okay, so my experience over 4 years was just very, very positive overall, and I'm really glad. Can we lower this? I'm really glad I joined tennis, and because I was able to make some really great friends over the past few years, and they know who they are, and yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about that. I'm planning to go to a UC campus. I'm very excited. We just finished the application process, so I'm excited about that. And my advice to you guys would be just to enjoy it. It goes by so fast. I still feel like I'm a freshman. And be kind to people, seriously. Just be kind. You know who you are. All right, thank you.
Hi, so I was trying to remember why I joined tennis 4 years ago when I was 8th grade. I think I went to the athletic night where they had all the tables, and honestly, I was just like, you know what, if I had to picture myself doing one sport, tennis seemed like the most natural. I also did swim, and I compared the 2 seasons, and by far, tennis is a lot more fun. It has to do with the small team, it has to do with like the parents that put in the time, and something about the tradition we have, and I really enjoyed it. freshman year, we had like an unvictorious season. It was like the notorious. We were all like had picked up rackets a couple months ago, and it ended up being probably the most fun of my 4 years. Although this year was a close second, because sophomore and junior year, it gets rough when you start moving up in tennis and wanting to win more, and coming up against those barriers of improving. And I kind of got negative. It's a very easy thing to do in individual sport. And so my advice to the underclassmen is get out of your head. Like, I literally had to talk to myself because I played singles and didn't have a partner most of the time. And I would talk to myself like in the third person, and it freaked a lot of the girls out. So it's an intimidation factor as well. And so as soon as I started doing that, my game improved extremely. I didn't have any more tears. I just had more frustration. And once you get past that, tennis gets a lot more fun and a lot more worth it. So, yeah.
All right. You're gonna have to excuse the voice. It's a little rough today. All right. So my experience was, my mom told me that I had to do 3 sports, and there was no argument. All I knew was I was not going to embarrass myself with dancing or cheering, so I looked at the sports and I saw tennis, and it was actually really great because the girls were generally really nice, and I feel like I kind of got lucky there. And it was nice coming into tennis, like knowing people instead of just going in and not knowing anybody and being scared out of your mind. It's been really great over the 4 years. I feel like it's helped build my confidence and help me be who I am, you know. And future plans. I'm sure my parents really want to know the answer to this question. I don't really know. It's kind of just blank space on that one. But my advice is to just be yourself, even though it's really hard in high school. Because I feel like it helps you find people who are worth having in your life and to appreciate you for who you really are as a person. That's my advice.
Love you, Savannah.
Hello. Shout out to Michelle. See you.
Anyways, so I started out, like Coach said, I was just with my dad on the court, you know, just hitting balls over the fence. And I started taking lessons, and I never really realized how much tennis would mean to me until I'm standing here today. And I'm an emotional person, so I met so many friends of the sport, and I had so many friends that I saw in middle school, and I was like, I want to be friends with that person, and they ended up being on the tennis team, and it's just like I said, so many good friends. And on my college interviews that I've been having, whenever they ask me what I do, I always say tennis, and then I always have to think about the other stuff that I do, because it's just means so much to me, and this new experience means a lot to me. Playing with Michelle last year and stuff, it was a lot of fun. So I just want to say thank you. My advice is to never give up and to always come back the next day, because the good thing about tennis is you could have a really bad day, and then the next day could be like the best day in your life, and then you could come back and also have a really bad day again, and you're like, I don't understand this, but my advice is to never give up, and no matter what anybody says about tennis in school, just know that it's the best sport ever. So, yeah.
First of all, I'd like to make a shout out to Savannah. She's one of the, I've become really close with her these 4 years, or my 3 years at Mount Carmel, and she's one of the strongest tennis players and strongest mental tennis players that I've known. And I really appreciate her there. And she's a really sweet person outside of the tennis court. So we've all heard Coach Rage say many times that tennis is the game of a lifetime. And it's kind of amazing how a simple quote can be so profound and meaning and stick with you for such a long time. The first time Coach Rage told me that saying 3 years ago, I took it with a grain of salt, to be honest. But since then, with my time on the Mount Carmel tennis team, I have learned that tennis is truly more than just a game. For each and every one of us, our character is put to the test. Our strengths of mind, coupled with our dignified attitudes and respect, helped us overcome failures and struggles. As we had a sense of community and unity, our team became one powerful force. We were fortunate to have swept Steel Canyon, El Camino, Escondido, RBV, along with other teams, and we even beat Westview. During each match, we put forth our scariest game faces and fought to the end. Our motivation, for many, that promised exhilarating feeling of accomplishment. For others, parents and bragging rights. For Michelle and Alexis, food. Whatever fueled our motivation and stomachs, our perseverance was what brought us closer as a team this season. The other elements that brought us together as a team were our coaches. To me, Coach Rage is much more than just a coach. He is my inspiration, spiritual guide, and friend. He has been my reassurance whenever I was tempted to give up. He has been understanding when I struggled with my temper on the tennis court. I hope that you guys will forever remember his tips like hit in the middle, solve the riddle, hit in the sun to have some fun. He taught us that there are two sides to tennis. We learned that skills like ground strokes, we learned skills like speed and power needed for the tiring grind in our ground strokes. And he helped us refine shots that require a subtle finesse like drop shots and volleys. He provided us with infinite amounts of helpful information during those half-hour or more lectures every day. So I thank you, Coach Rig, for all your help and believing me in, since I first came to Carmel sophomore year. And I appreciate having every one of you as teammates because you have made MC Tennis Team a welcoming and supportive environment with your positive attitudes and sportsmanship. You have shown me that tennis is truly the game of the lifetime. The game of the lifetime.
Okay, so Alexis, you start. Okay. JV captain, so team captains will hand out our volunteer gifts.
So we have a little something for all of our kind and helpful volunteers this season. First, I'd like to thank my mom, Ms. Heather Letzring, for all of her help. Next, we have our team mom, Ms. Darnell Root. Third, we have Miss Barbara Weber. Next, we have Miss Christy Wilson. And we also have Miss Yomila Cruz.
Okay. We also have Ava's mom, Miss Lisa Petrillo, but I don't think she's here, so do you just want to take it from her? And then we have Miss Burt. Grace's mom, Miss Lumbersall. Miss King. And Miss Yosa.
We're kind of the impromptu JV. Hi, can you hear me? We're the impromptu JV captains as of now. We'd really like to thank Coach Daryl and Coach Ray. I don't know where he's sitting, but he's here. He's back there. Okay. Thank you guys so much. You taught us so much, and I know like teaching people that have like never played tennis before or learning to play tennis, it's hard and it's not always rewarding because I feel like I'm sorry I scared you. I'm sorry I didn't know that. Thank you so much, and we're really, really appreciative of you and everything you do, and you guys really deserve the gifts that we're about to give you about.
Yeah, we just like to thank you for all your patience in helping us like figure out like say we want to put more topspin on our forehand, like helping us figure out how to do that and everything that you guys do for us. So thank you.
We also have a coach's gift for Coach Rage and Coach Beth. Thank you guys for being so supportive, and we can tell that you really have your heart in the game all the time, especially at these banquets. We can tell that it's just because you're very involved and emotionally and physically into our game, and we appreciate it, and your patience in dealing with us when we're not very pleasant. Yeah.